Hi, this is Adriana, and this is my diverse and oppression oral presentation. Okay, first I'm starting to talk about intersectionality. And intersectionality just basically talks about how you can belong to different diverse groups. In the video that stuck out to me was the accent video because it was people of the LGBT community, and it just showed how college students was how they were diverse and how they just wanted to feel more comfortable at school. Next, I talked about human diversity. In human diversity, I chose the gender identity. And basically, gender identity is just what you having a psychological thing of feeling like a man, feeling like a woman, even feeling like both. And also, I chose the X Men video because that was the sense in the video they talked about gender identity. And gender identity is basically talked about how you can live your life as a man today, live your life as a female tomorrow, or just feeling like both. Next, I talk about the strength, perspective, and resiliency. Strength perspective mainly just talks about your strengths. What are you good at to solve your problems? What can you do to solve your problems? Resiliency just talks about being able to get out of a situation, just finding methods to get yourself out of a bad situation. And the video I chose was Being Black in America. Because Being Black in America just talked about how African Americans are so stereotyped and how there's no justice for us. And it's a sense of us telling ourselves that no matter what we go through, at the end of the day, we still can get ourselves out of this and get out of being stereotyped. Next, I talked about the social and economic justice concepts, and I talked about human rights and oppression. And a video that I chose was Taking Root. Miss Wagri, sorry if I butcher her name, she mainly talked about the oppression of human rights because with her movement, she started off as fighting for human rights, fighting for something that she believed in. And she was oppressed by people around her, people over her, because they feel like she couldn't do what she wanted to do because it wasn't something that their country does. Next, I talk about the empowerment in the microenvironment, and that just basically talks about African Americans, how we still have no justice no matter what we do, and how we still can be but below white people. Could be what won't be. I talked about oppression in the microenvironment, and that just basically talked about um Hispanics being low in the poverty line. And a story that mainly helped me focus with that was the Seven Kids. It was about Jared Gomez living in a home with seven kids plus himself other seven, dealing with a separated mom, and him not being able to go to school and being the kid that he is because he has to help his mom. There are $15,000 under the poverty line, and it's just hard for him because he wants to live the life that he lived, but he can't because he's helping his mom. Next, I talk about the feminist principles applied to women in micro social environment, and I just talk about empowerment, how women can be able to have power and be an independent woman. I talk about Taking Root because Miss Rainbow started her movement as in just her and women. Them just getting seeds from trees and just from existing trees and just helping them grow to become millions of trees. Also talked about social and economic justice for people intellectual and developmental disabilities. I talked about Miss Lorraine Claiborne. She's actually has a disability, but they never stopped her from being the woman that she wanted to be. She talked about her mom never looked at her as being a person with a disability. Her mom was strong, and Miss Claiborne also even became a woman, a special person in the Special Olympics. She was a special person in it because she impacted so much. And I also talked about globalization, and that's just basically saying like what one country does that can affect another country. And basically, I picked the It's a Girl video when the filmmaker talked about how people are killing killing female babies just so they can have sons. And it just basically talked about how China has a one-child policy, how they also kill more babies just because they don't have a son or they're above the one-child policy. And lastly, I talked about the community developed to function of communities. And it just basically talked about having resources and being able to produce things. And from there, I just talked about how Miss Rangrid talked about a stream